Hello guys, how's everybody doing today? It's wonderful to see you guys. Question I have here. Mark, have you noticed that it's quite harder to manifest in this era, especially within the last 5 to 8 years? Inflation, economy, etc. How can we overcome this to manifest what we want? Great question right there. Well, yeah, so why is it so hard to manifest now? So let's talk some facts and see what's happening here, okay? So remember this. The important thing is there's always two sides to the coin. There's the abundance and there's the lack. I will say this before I begin. No matter what your situation is, you can always experience an abundant side of it for you personally. So with that being said, people talk about the economy, the inflation, everything is harder, housing market, you can't get a house, it's da-da-da, it's tough, everyone's living paycheck to paycheck. What is going on, Mark? Why can't I manifest? Because it is so difficult. Before 15, 20 years ago is a little different. What's happening, man? Why is it so difficult to manifest? So I'm gonna tell you why it's difficult to manifest and how to fix it, okay? So in order for you to understand this stuff, we have to go back to how reality works, how nature, how things work, okay? So here's what you need to know first before you can do anything. All right. The reason why it's difficult to manifest now more than ever before is because we have been inundated with the atmosphere of lack. It means that everywhere around us, it's been drilled into our subconscious mind that things are getting bad to worse, that there's not enough money, there's not enough things for your paycheck, there's not enough stuff for you to get what you want in your life. And what happens is, guys, that seeps into your consciousness, and then what happens is your consciousness goes ahead and does what? Your consciousness makes it a reality, people. So, and then that leads to the biggest thing. So here's the biggest thing that makes it so hard for you to manifest. I'm going to spell it. Well, you know what? Maybe I should do this. Let me see something else. I'm going to tell you the biggest thing, because I want you to get it. So let me see what I can do here. Where's my trusty old? No, I don't have it. Oh, here it is. Ooh. So I'm going to write down your biggest stopper to manifest and why it's so hard right now. Here it is. This is the biggest thing that is preventing you from manifesting. Okay, I don't know if maybe backwards when I read it to you, but there it is. Fear. Fear, fear, fear. Fear cripples your manifestation power. Fear is the stopper. That's what they do. So they plant fear into you by telling you, look, I'm going to be real. Yeah, the world, the economy, it's in a bad state. Some people say, hey man, things aren't going right. But I also got news to tell you. That is a subjective view. The world can be in a bad state. You don't have to be in a bad state. The economy could be crumbling and you could be flourishing. Everybody else could be struggling and you could be thriving. You know why? Because, people, it's our perception in the state of being that determines our experience. One person next to me could be struggling and I could be thriving. We're in the same economy, we're in the same thing, but I'm still thriving. Why is that? Because I am creating my own reality. You are creating your own reality. And in quantum physics says, in the many world interpretation, it basically says that every possible world exists where an occurrence of any reality or any situation is happening now based on the observer's ideas and beliefs and perception of what he or she thinks and believes should be happening in their life. That's will separate you. So the reason it's hard for people to manifest is because people are taking on the energy of the negativity around them. They are accepting what the matrix is telling them. Inflation is high. This is that. And that goes into your unconscious, and then you are replicating it and getting it because now you're fearing it. Oh, you got to do this, protect yourself, save it, all that. You are going to cripple your own power. How to stop fear? You have to know what fear is. To stop fear, you got to know what it is. Anything you want to stop, anything you want to change, you have to know how it operates, the ins and out of it. So what is fear? Fear, my friends, is an illusion. Danger is very real. Fear, however, is not. Fear, false events appearing real. That's what fear is. It's a construct in your mind that is designed to protect you and activate your fight or flight. So once you understand that there is no fear, then you can overcome the fear. But Mark, easier said than done. How can you experience fear when you when your body and all this stuff and you're feeling it? Well, again, understanding how stuff works. That's a natural recognition. That's a natural reaction from your body. It's nerves. That's what it does. But it doesn't mean it's happening. It could feel real as whatever you want to feel it, but it doesn't mean it's happening. If you want to overcome your fear, my friends, look into the present moment. If your fear is actually manifesting now, Mark is totally wrong. But I could bet you, betting man, I'll bet you 99% that 99% of your fears are not even happening in this moment. They're just happening in your head. That's how you're going to overcome fear. So in order for you to manifest and change it, is for you to start to create your own world mentally. See and feed your subconscious abundance. Even in listen, there are people now that are making more money than ever in this worst economy. Can you believe that? There are people right now thriving. Why is that? Because we live in an infinite universe, multiverse. That's right, you're an extraordinary being capable of remarkable feats. That you said it right. Said it right, my friend. And that's what you have to understand. So stop buying into the program about the inflation, the economy, I don't have enough, because you're just going to put yourself into a reality that matches that, and that's what they want. They want you to live in the fear stuff, people. You can be thriving right now because in quantum mechanics it shows us the fact that the universe is a self-replicating creative world based on an observer. It's in simplistic terms, people, it means that what is stored in my head and in my belief will replicate and show up in my reality. That means I have a choice. I have the decision. I can do something. So even in the midst of chaos, I'm in the midst of peace. And you'll be in the midst of peace. Can you give a personal experience of manifesting something? Yes. When I manifested and won the lottery. There's a lot of stuff going on. You know, people said to me, well, Mark, you know, you talk, you give good talks, and you motivate people, you help people to understand, you know, about, you know, the positive mind and everything. But this was a comment I was reading, just, you know, scrolling through the channel, and someone says, you know, but Mark never experienced, you know, I like listening to Mark, but Mark doesn't know when you're really in it, the struggle and all that stuff. Well, people, Mark's been through the struggle. If you don't know where I came from, where I was brought up, where I was raised, where I was born. I was born in the island of Jamaica. In Jamaica, it's not peaches and cream, my friends. I went without food. I knew what it felt like to be hungry. There were days when I didn't eat. We wore the same shoes. We had the same uniform. So Mark definitely knows a thing or two about mine. Mark's been through it. Then Mark came to the United States. Mark still struggled with family, into Florida, to New York. So my story is a story of mindfulness. So I am definitely know what I'm talking about. And the thing that built me was my mindset. See, I understood. Well, not I overstood. I understand what's happening. See, even in the midst of chaos, I can still find peace. You know why? Because I know there is nothing going on. It's a game. I know it's an experience that I'm feeling, but it's still an illusion. I know it's temporary, and I know it must change, because I know on the quantum level, in the cells of my body, they're in a constant state of change. Nothing is ever at rest. So that bad time is going to pass. All I have to do is stay focused. Keep my visualization. Do what I got to do. So go back to what I manifested. So the story of manifestation is the lottery. So when I saw that beautiful Dakar yellow E46 M3, and they made 1 of 10 in the world, and I said, you know what, I'm going to get that car. I'm going to win the lottery and do it. That was unheard of. That was crazy. That was preposterous. I told co-workers when I was working in the chef, and I was like, I'm going to win the lottery and buy this car. I got laughed at. I got ridiculed. Some people were on my side, but I already knew how the game went. I knew what to do. I knew how reality worked. I activated it. I started the process. Of course, there were rough times. My ego would get me down. Tickets weren't winning. I felt like I was just losing a lot. I felt like this is not going to happen. But what did Mark do? Mark still followed the blueprint. Mark knew that how the universe is made and the laws of the universe cannot change. They have to stay the same. I have to change to match it. So what did I do? I persist, patience, repetition, manifestation. There's a story of it, my friends. Every person have that ability to do it, but most people don't turn it on. You know what else? Let me tell you something else that really shift the game to make manifestation the easiest game ever. One night, I was sleeping, and I was awakened to this voice. This voice literally woke me up out of my sleep. It was my voice, but it sounded, the best way I could describe this voice to you, the voice sounded like a digital, if you go back to the 80s when they're doing breakdance and they're doing like, it's like a robotic type of digital voice. But I knew the voice was mine. But check this out. Even though I knew the voice was mine, it didn't have a male or a female voice, but I still knew it was my voice. And it woke me up. And it called my name. It says, hey, Mark. Jumped out of my sleep like this. I was like, what the heck? I thought I was going crazy. But you know what that was? That was the introduction to my authentic self. That was my higher self. That was my consciousness. That was the real me. That I was connected because I started to understand the process of reality. And once I heard that voice, and I said to myself, oh my goodness, I'm not hallucinating anything. So there's something going on here. Then I started, when I heard that voice, I said, listen, I got to go do more research here. Something's going on here. I started to study the brain, different parts of my mind, and I started to realize, wait a minute, there's so many different compartments of my mind. There's a conscious, there's a subconscious, there's a critical divide. Wait, there's something else. There's a superconscious and a higher self. Oh, wow. This is what they call God. So what they did, they actually turned the higher self into a deity to say that's a God. But that was really me. And I started to test it. I started to ask questions. I started to ask information. And you know what would happen, people? Answers would come to me, man. All of that started to happen, and I was like, whoa. That's how, you know, especially when it came to the lottery stuff, I started asking for numbers. I would see numbers. I would play numbers. They would always win. It would show me things. I'd ask questions again. Once I realized that all of this is a make-up fairy tale game, a big dream, and I have access to the real me, that's when the whole game changed for me. That's when I started to use it and to change my reality. And you see, the problem is most people are afraid, and they get ridiculed, and they get scared, and they think that this is something lunatic or crazy, because that's how the Matrix programmed them. The Matrix programmed people to be logical, to think that, oh, that's a bunch of pseudo, there's no such thing as that. You can't, no. You know, just over 100 years ago, they literally thought the Earth was the center of the universe. Just over 100 years ago. No one knew there were other planets out there. Now we know not only there are planets, there are universes. There are trillions, billions, infinite universes, infinite planets, infinite dimensions. So just because you don't know it and don't understand it doesn't mean it's not there, it's not existent. See, this is what you have to do, man. You have to open up your mind. When you open up your consciousness, you're going to get information to manifest and change that. So, okay. So, if you want to make manifestation easy for you, you have to learn to connect with your authentic self. You have to learn to connect with your true being. Talk, get information. It comes into intuition, it comes into vision, it comes to dreams. And this is where you'll start to shift and change your whole world, your whole perspective. You don't have to open the mind. The mind is already opened. You just have to gain access. You just have to walk into it. That's all you got to do. The mind is open 24/7, 365. Your mind is infinite. At least a part of the mind is, the subconscious mind is infinite. And that's the gateway to what's called superconscious mind, higher consciousness, higher information. It's all connected. It's interwoven. There's no separation. All is one. One is all. Quantum entanglement, quantum superposition. All shows the same thing. The universe, everything is here and now. There's no separation. What you're seeing is an illusion played by your brain. That's all you're experiencing. So that literally means your experiences. So listen, I say that story to tell you this. The struggles and stuff all of us go through and I've gone through, once I understood and I look and I remember that stuff, these struggles start to vanish from me because I know they're temporary. Do you see how that works? So it's your unique perspective on your situation will change your whole reality. So that means manifestation shouldn't be hard for you now after this lesson here, this lecture. Because now you understand that even in what they call tough times, you will still prosper, you will still manifest. Because there is only a perception in this game we are playing. This multiverse, this whatever you want to call it. There's only perception. And I got news for you. Me and you are not even here. We're being represented. We have avatars. We're representatives. Our true selves are out playing bigger games. Our true selves are mastering the universe. Our true selves are in other dimensions. Our true selves is watching all these other realities. Our true self, it just sends a part of us here. What you see here as a human being is a tiny representative of who you truly are. I'll break it down. In 100%, only you have 98% of you is still there. It only sends 2% of you. And this 2% of you have here is still very powerful. Think about that. This 2% of you can do wonderful things. You can manifest lottery. You can change your business. You can make more money. You can change your health. You can become better. Think about that. That 2% that you have right here. Look at all the stuff you can do. And that's just 2%. The other 98% of me is out there chasing, doing whatever, just bigger, whatever. I can't even comprehend it. I don't even know what it's doing. My mind can't assimilate infinity. We can't do that. But I know one thing. Whatever I need something, I just go to my higher self. It sends information through my subconscious. That's what you have to learn. You have to learn the process to get to your true self. There is a process to get to your true self. That's what the Matrix hid from you. The Matrix hid from you the how to get to your true self. They scribbled all that up. So everybody here is running around trying to figure out how to manifest, how to get this. But there is a process or a routine to get to that part of yourself. You just don't get up and say, all right, it doesn't work like that. You have to do certain things, change certain ways, change certain processes to get to where you want to go. Okay, I'll answer it very simple. So how do you get to it? The first part to open up to your higher self is you must change the map of reality that is inside of your unconscious mind. You must change the blueprint in your subconscious. That will open up your higher self. Your subconscious is your gateway to superpowers. Listen to this. All of you know this, but did you know I would estimate about, I'm going to tell you something deep, and go do your research for this. About 80 to 90% of the world's population, okay, the world's population, they do not know that they have a subconscious mind. Baffling, right? 80 to 90% of the world's population, they do not know they have their subconscious mind. 80 to 90% of the world's population don't even know how their own minds work. It's just working. They don't know that stuff. So you have to reprogram your unconscious mind first. The part of the process to reprogram the unconscious mind is your thought patterns. Change the way you think, change what you think of, change how you think it, and change what makes you feel. That's the first part of the process. So, you know, and this is my opinion, and I think, and this is what I believe, that the reason 80 to 90% of the world's population do not know that they have a subconscious mind is not because of ignorance. It's because of deliberate misrepresentation. It's because it's something that's been doing on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. They don't want you to know about the subconscious mind. If you start to figure out your subconscious mind, you will figure out the game and you will live your best life possible. That's why that number is so high. Now imagine that's a subconscious. Now what if they find out about your higher self? The game's over now. So that's why all of this stuff is suppressed more. It's not going to be out there like that. And this is the main reason why religion came into play, is where religion was designed to shut down all of that stuff so you wouldn't be able to access all of that stuff. Religion was designed for you to take away your power and put it to something else that's outside of you, that doesn't exist inside of you. So if I could distract you with these things, the less likely you will be, the less likely you are to stop and start to think and start to figure out what you are. See, if I can keep you distracted every day by watching certain things, you will never be able to find out the immense power you have to change your life. That's the name of the game. The name of the game is distract you and keep you busy until you move on to your next dimensional existence. That's how the game goes. From birth to transition, it's a distracting game. I'm going to try to distract you as much as possible so you can never get time to sit and be in silence and then hear the voice like I heard my voice, my higher self voice. I'm going to put into your life so much distraction, so much things, so much stress, so much things. I'm going to do it to you so that you will never be able to free yourself to your true existence. Imagine that. Religion separating everyone from each other and the truth. That is correct. So people, you have to now know this knowledge and use it. Okay, someone asked me why they want to distract us. The reason they want to distract you is so that they can continue to run the operation of the matrix for wealth, for greed, for power, for control. Think about this logically. If you are able to deliberately create your own life and get your own career, you're not going to be working at the job. They're going to be out of employees. The business is going to pummel. The economy is going to go down. They don't need you anymore. You don't need them anymore. So in order for things to be in power and existence, they have to be a boss and they got to be workers. That's how they set it up. So you got to be the worker and the big man got to be the boss. The boss don't want you to figure out how to be a boss because then you're going to take his job. Because they need workers. So there's the answer to your question. So all the bosses, they came up with the plan. They say, hey, let's create this system. Let's create this place called the Matrix. Let's create our government. Let's create our religion. Let's create schools. Let's make up words and languages. Let's call it fear. Let's give them names. Let's create this fake place here. And let's create money from paper. We're going to use it for gifts, for goods in exchange. And let's have these people be our workers, and we're going to be the boss. And let's distract them by creating all these good stuff. We're going to create sports. We're going to create entertainment. We're going to use them against each other. We're going to create, envy, movies. We're going to do all that stuff. So let's distract them. Let's give them a 9 to 5. Let's tell them that middle age is in their 40s and 50s. And let them work till they're 65. And then let us take all the spoils. But I got news for you people. Your middle age is not in your 50s, people. Middle age is 35 years old. The average lifespan of American or a person is 76 years old. That's the average lifespan. So when they tell you, oh, you're going to retire at 65 or 50, man, you only got like 7-8 years left, man. You bought the game. You bought the ticket. They got you. Middle age is 35 years old. Now, let me tell you something that's going to free you from that. You see, if you are like the majority of people that believe in the age thing, it's going to affect you. But if you don't associate, you see, people with me, look, I don't associate with age. I don't even associate with my name. You know why I don't do any of that stuff? I don't follow any of that stuff. You know why? Take a guess. Why don't I associate with age and name and all personality? Tell me why. If you're really smart and you understand quantum physics, you understand neuroscience, you understand biology. I never associate myself. My birthday, I couldn't even tell you when the last time I remembered it. I don't even celebrate it. I couldn't tell you the day when it comes up again. The reason why I don't do any of that stuff, guys, because the first thing I know is we live in a make-up world. It's a game world. So if I associate myself with those stuff, my body, the cells in my body will start to replicate and become those things. My cells are illogical. So if I start to say I am 65, or I feel like 72, or I'm 39, or 49, or 45, or whatever, my cells in my body will start to show me evidence of what 46, 55, 29, looks like. Because it's going to look for other people complaining of ailments and issues, and I'm going to project it on myself. That's a fact. That's how your body works. Your body cannot see anything outside. It sees inside on what you feel and what you say. So whatever comes in your body, your cells will replicate it. So I'm just showing you the big picture of how the system works, how the stuff works. So the people that are working and they tell you middle age is in your 40s and 50s, that is actually incorrect. Your middle age, if you're into the age thing and following, is in your 30s. You're 35, you're already middle age. You're halfway past the expected time of your whatever. So, this is why you have to wake up and start to see for yourself and look for your own interests and look for your own reflection and change your own life. Yeah, when someone asks me how old I am, I just tell them I'm infinite. I'm whatever age. Listen, what I understand and what I learned, man, and when I started implementing this stuff, it gets very trippy. Because you see, if you don't identify with the system, the matrix cannot identify with you. Therefore, okay, I have to find an analogy to make this simple for you. So let's use the movie The Matrix. Let's use computer program. Let's use codes. So in a game or a computer program, software that runs a program, But you also have what's called, websites, you have the back office. So you can go in your back office and you can always override stuff. And that's what you will become when you're not associated with a name and an age. You become this glitch software that can go and interact in everything. They can't pinpoint you. They can't, control you, because you don't have an identity to associate with that stuff with. You see how they control and get you is with an identity. But if you don't have, I'm talking on a mental level now, okay? I'm not talking about the normal, you got to go government ID, you got to go show this to work, your social. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about the mental, because the mental will reflect the physical. The point is, if you're identifying yourself as a part of the matrix, which identifies as lack and struggle and fear, then your name and your identity and your age and whatever your religion, your race and all of that stuff, you are being controlled and you are tied into that system. There's no way you're going to get out to manifest what you want, because you've been branded. You're coded. And if you don't believe this, I'll go back and I'll say this to you again so you can get it in your head. 200 years ago, a group of men, women, whatever, sat down and decided, hey, let's create a government. About not even 200 years ago, let's go back 2000, 3000, Council of Nicaea. Let's create this system. Let's make money. Let's create this thing called school. Let's create names. Let's create rules. Let's create laws, and let's put people in it, and they're gonna play. And let's make bosses and workers. Those are created by the same people like you and I. They invented this stuff. We didn't come here and the universe said this is how it is. Everyone came here with free mind, free will. Some of them just came here and caught onto the game and say, wait a minute, since all of this is an illusion, let me turn this game into my favor and let them work for me. So that's the first thing you got to remember. So I don't care, no matter how, when you get up in the morning, you go into your 9 to 5 and you're thinking it's not real, my friend. You're thinking of your struggle. It's not real, my friend. You're thinking of this, it's a game. But the reason it's real to you because you bought into the game. Just like you bought into the game, you can buy out of the game and make your own game. You can go make your own life. You can make your own desires. You can make your own money. You can make your own manifestation. You can go in the game and make everything you want. Now, if you want to stay in the game and you feel comfortable and do it, then go ahead, do the game. But it's all a game and it's all a program. That's the main point I'm showing you. So, if you can escape that mentality of the game, then you're on your way to your own freedom, your own true source of wealth and happiness. You can change your blueprint by saying everything is easy. Of course, everything, people, I gotta go, man, I gotta keep saying this because this is so important. We are living in a game, a simulated game that feels very real to us because we have a headset that's very interactive. You ever know those headsets they put on when you're in those VR games and it feels so real to you? Guess what? We have one. You know what it is? Our brain. Our brain is our headset. Okay? When you put on a headset, you're immersed in it. That's why we are so immersed, because our brain sends sensory input based on the environment and sends back feedback and to tell us that we are in a reality. But the truth is, now science exposed and shows us that there cannot be reality. There can only be perception. Space and time actually cannot exist. And the only reason space and time exist is because you're observing space and time. Space and time isn't out there. Space and time is in here. You're not in the world is in you. You're not in space. Space is inside of you. The only reason all of this, when you look at the blue skies and the night skies, if it's not out there, my friends, it's in here. Science has shown that. We know that now. We know that everything comes online when the observer comes online. When the observer goes offline, everything goes offline. When the observer goes offline, this reality ceases to exist. Now the question is, okay, when the observer goes offline, Mark, where does the observer go next? Well, when the observer goes offline, there's one thing we do know. The observer is infinite. So the observer is always going somewhere else. So when the observer goes off this game, goes into another game, goes into another brain, another reality. The observer, by the way, is your higher consciousness, is your superconscious, the consciousness. It downloads into the brain for the headset. So when this avatar ceases to exist, the player, let's call it the player, what he does, he takes off the headset, the consciousness leaves the brain, which is the consciousness is you. He goes to another player that may live in another parallel world, this world, another universe, da-da-da, and it comes back. And it goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Right? Which is when you're talking like that, TikTok won't promote your live or suggestion. Well, I don't care about promoting my live or suggestion. I'm just care about telling you the truth. The reason they won't promote my live or suggestion because they know the truth. So, again, it's a game. Who cares? So you want me to tell you BS or you want me to tell you the truth? You know, you could take the red pill or the blue pill, you go back to sleep and go back into the matrix, or you could take the pill and wake up. That's what this is about. I'm waking you up. You can go back and sleep in your own world. Go back into your, you know, people can go back in their reality. It's all good. You understand how this stuff is working? That's correct. The right people will find this live. Listen, okay, let me tell you something else how the game works. I'm gonna show you something deep about the game that you must understand. You see, everyone here, their headset is their brain, right? So every consciousness, they're here, but there's one big consciousness, they all split up. So what the consciousness does, here's what they do. When the players come in here to play, they know that, all right, we're here to play this game. So we're gonna find all the other players that are connected on the vibe. So that means this live or this content will only find other players that are in resonance with it. That's what the game is. So you will always find your audience, you will always find your tribe, you will always have your people, you will always have abundance, you always make money, you always do all, because it's always going to come to you because it's on the same vibration. So even if they don't promote this live game, it doesn't matter because the people who are supposed to see it is going to see it and they're not going to stop it anyway. So it's not going to matter because what is already... Go, let me tell you something else that's deep. By the way, if you don't know this, when you came here in your headset in your brain, okay, when you came here in your headset in your brain, outside of the game, all of you, your consciousness, did you know they all got together? They all got together. You know your consciousness? All of them got together and said, all right, so I'm going to float down. I'm going to go into this guy. I mean, he's going to be, name is Mark. All right, okay, I'm going to go down and I'm going to float into Susie. What about you? All right, I'm going to go into Asia and I'm going to find, okay, what about you? Yeah, I'm going to go into Turkey. Okay, what about you? I'm going to go into Spain. I'm going to a guy named Enrique. Okay, all right. So, okay, we're going to do that. So what are we going to do? So I'm going to make Enrique do this. I'm going to make Mark do that. All right, so we all got everything set up. So I'm going to meet y'all down at the game. All right, we're going to connect. All right, so Enrique, you want to meet Jack? No, not in this game. I'm just going to do solo. So we're going to do Jack the next game. All right, so let's go. All right, so let's go down and play the game. So check this out. What you don't understand is this. Before you even got here, all of your higher selves already set up the game already. So when you're here now, you're playing a replay. You're not even playing a live game. Everything is already set up and done for you. If that don't blow your mind, now it will. So that literally means that me playing this game right now to you, I couldn't fail even if I wanted to fail because I was already set up for this. There was no way I wouldn't be doing this. I could not be doing this. I have to do this. I'm an avatar. I'm programmed by my higher self. I'm following the script. So are you. So the point is, no matter what you're doing, You can't fail because you're already set up to succeed. The only reason you're going to fail is if you go against your own player. Going against the old player is called resistance. And even then, you're still not going to fail. All you're going to do is just going to waste time and get into doubt, stress, worry. And then eventually you're going to get so tired, you're going to get so upset that you're just going to say, forget it. And you're going to let it go. And then your higher self is going to come back and take over the game and finish what you're supposed to finish. So when people say, like, you know, I see all the time, well, man, you know, maybe you want to make content about this and get more views. No, it doesn't matter. It's already set up. It's already set up. You're still going to win either way. Because the game is set up for you to win before you got here. They all. So this is why people will meet people that they feel so connected when they meet the people. They say, man, I feel like I've known you for a long time. Yeah, I feel like I know you for a long. Well, actually, you have known each other for. Actually, you talked to each other before you got here and said, all right, I'm gonna come down to Earth. You're gonna live in Australia. I'm gonna live in New York. But you know what? In 17 of their years, we're gonna fly back and you're gonna meet me. Actually, we don't have to do that. They're gonna make this thing called the internet, and we're gonna connect, and then we're gonna come over. We're gonna make a business, and we're gonna make a lot of money, and we're gonna do this. Actually, yeah, we're gonna come back together again. All right, this time I'll marry you. All right, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna live in London, but I'm in California. Okay, so we're gonna meet on this dating site. I'm gonna talk to you. Our first talk, we're gonna feel so connected. You're gonna fly over, and the rest is history. People, happens every single day. Some people call it twin flames, whatever they want to call it, but it's the origin of it is all the consciousness of the intelligence. They already set up everything, and they come down here to play the game and to connect. That's their way of getting experience. But see, you don't know that because you haven't been taught that. You've been shunned away from that. The Matrix don't want you to know that, because if you did know that, the whole thing would collapse. The blueprint of the soul. Okay, so there's some mind-blowing things I want to leave you with today, and I'll see you again next time.